How Rashford fell from grace at Manchester United. When Marcus Rashford scored 6 goals in February 2023 for Manchester United, the football world thought he was the perfect replacement for Wayne Rooney. The club, scared to lose the Englishman, made him sign a new contract until 2028. But barely 6 months into his new contract, the once darling of Old Trafford became a nightmare to the club. What went wrong, and why was Rashford's relationship with the club broken beyond repair in such a short time? Rashford was widely regarded as a professional and well-behaved player on and off the pitch. But after Erik ten Hag arrived at the club in 2022, the story changed. The new manager paid attention to small details, and Rashford's flaws became visible. The first was in December 2022, when Rashford arrived a few minutes late to a team meeting, claiming to have overslept. The punishment was a spot on the bench against Wolves, despite his good form. He later scored the winner after coming in as a second-half substitute. He earned ten Hag's forgiveness and became the club's top scorer that season, with 32 goals in all competitions. But then something worse happened. The next season, Manchester United suffered its worst start in over 60 years. After a humiliating 3-0 defeat to eternal rivals, Manchester City, ten Hag punished the players by cancelling their day off the next day. But Rashford did the unthinkable. Rashford hosted his 26th birthday party that same night after the embarrassing loss. The celebration didn't end until the early hours of Monday. Although he showed up for training after a few hours of sleep, the fans were disappointed in his lack of remorse. The player, who had scored 32 times the previous season, had not scored a single goal in 2 months. It was obvious that his lifestyle was part of the problem. Once again, Rashford apologized, but the problem persisted. 3 months later, in January 2024, and with the club struggling to redeem its image, Rashford decided not to show up for training. His excuse? He had a cold and a sore throat. He had the day off and missed the FA Cup clash with Newport County. But instead of visiting a hospital, Rashford travelled 467 kilometres from Manchester to Belfast and spent 2 nights clubbing. He continued his partying until the early hours of Friday. Once again, he showed up for training unprepared after minimal sleep. The club's highest-paid player was not working his money. It was clear that Rashford's lifestyle was the reason for his poor outing, and he wasn't ready to change. His name became written in ten Hag's bad books before the Dutchman's dismissal in October 2024. Upon Ruben Amorim's arrival as United's head coach, he gave Rashford another chance, where he scored the opening goal within 90 seconds against Ipswich Town and another brace against Everton. But after 6 matches, when Amorim was writing names in his bad book, Rashford came top once again. According to Amorim, Rashford was a player who doesn't give the maximum every day. Who knows if his nightlife was also part of the problem? Rashford, not ready to stay on the bench under the new manager, opted for a loan to Aston Villa. He departed his beloved club not as a hero, but as a villain, despite scoring 138 goals in 426 matches. Some have blamed the club for mistreating the homegrown star, while others feel he invited the disgrace for himself. What do you think? Please say in the comments.